It is, I don't even know what the hell time it is right now. It's got to be close to 1:30, whatever it is. I just figured I'd jump on here. I'm bored as hell. Don't feel like recording anything right now, so I'm sitting on my deck, just kind of hanging out. I wanted to see if anybody out there in the community is in the chat. See what you guys are collecting nowadays. If anybody's out there, man, top me some comments in down below. What are you looking to buy right now? Right now it's tough, man. I got the Garden State Comic Fest coming up in June 24th and 25th. Not really know what I'm looking for to buy, but I'm setting up as a vendor there, even though technically I'm not a dealer or a vendor, but I'm going to be setting up some books there, whatever I have left to sell. There's going to be some keys, some smaller keys, some bigger keys. Nothing major, but I figured I do like this one con because it's not that big of a con. It's a nice show, don't get me wrong, but there's not too many comic dealers. There's some cosplayers, artists, there's a bunch of stuff like that. So if you're going to be in the area, June 24th and 25th, the Garden State Comic Fest in Morristown, New Jersey. Do me a favor, come on by, hang out with me for a little bit. Let me meet you if I haven't met you before. Let's chat comics, be on the channel. If I'm filming at that point, just go from there. But like I said, what are you guys collecting right now? I got like one book that I'm really looking for, and that's really it. Other than that, it's pretty dry. I've been kind of looking through the market, looking for books that I think still have potential to go, higher, but there's not much out there. I think right now you're looking for deals, or you're looking for books that you want to hang on to for the next 20 or so years. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of Silver Age has come down a lot, anywhere from 30-something% to like 70%. So you can get some good deals if you're willing to hold for the long term right now. But if you guys have books that you're looking for, drop them down in the comments. I really like to see what you guys are looking for, because it's definitely helpful when I do these chats, or when I do videos, so I can kind of look and see what everybody's got their mind on, you know what I'm saying? Is it Marvel? Is it DC? Is it independent stuff? Stuff like that. So is anybody here in the chat? I see 5 people there, but comment down below so I can see who's here. And to be honest, this is the first time I've ever just gone live from my phone. So I figured, what the hell, but no comments are coming through, so I am not sure how this works. So somebody please tell me. But yeah, I see nothing. I see no comments coming through. Set on live chat, so I don't know. But regardless, like I said, we're just kind of hanging out on a Sunday here. Robert Davis, there's the first comment. How you doing, bud? DC nerd, so I like seeing more DC. I think DC is like probably really hot right now in the books. The majority of the books that are still going up are DC books. But I always say this with DC, and it's my thing, is like all DC keys are not created equal, meaning that DC's mainstay is in the golden age. So a lot of the books that I'd want to own are really expensive books. So a lot of people out there can't really go out and buy some of these books. So, I mean, that leaves us with Silver Age appearances. Yeah, first appearance, Supergirl, I think is a great book. The Batman Rogues Villains, the first Silver Age appearances. What's it called? Showcase 22. Showcase 4 is a big one, but it's still a Silver Age book. Those are the big Silver Age keys that I could think of. Detective 359 is another one. First Batgirl. Books that I would actively be buying right now if I'm a DC fan, if you don't want to get into the golden age. I had a discussion with a couple of my buddies last night, actually, about, if you're going to spend money on a big book, would you rather go for the biggest of the big? When I say that, I'm not talking about, Action 1 or Detective 27, but if you're going to spend like 10 grand on a book, do you want it to be a big one, or do you want it to be like a smaller key, from the golden age? And I think that's a discussion worth having at some point. For me, I think if you're going to spend that kind of money, you might as well go for the biggest of the big, or else, you end up, maybe buying something that everybody is looking for. That's my only worry. But let me know what you guys think. Robert says, I'm here, Larry Legend. There you go. Oh, and my dad is Larry. He's got the same name, so I go by Lawrence. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, for the most part, DC-wise, I mean, you grow up, maybe, at least my age, you grow up Superman, you grow up Batman. Outside of that, though, you really have to be a comic reader and a collector to like some of the other characters. Maybe I'll say Wonder Woman, I'll throw in there as well for the people who followed her. But like Flash, Green Lantern, Cyborg, All those guys, like, you really have to be a true DC fan to follow them, in my opinion. But again, the younger generation is different because I'm not really familiar how they think. I don't read new comics for the most part. I've tried to get into it, but the stories is so much different than they were from the silver and bronze and copper age. It's so much different. So it's really hard to get into. I just actually bought a Alan Moore Swamp Thing trade paperback. I'm going to give that a whirl because I actually never read it before, but I figured I've heard enough good things. If I'm going to do it, I might as well start with a trade paperback. So we'll see how that goes. But what are you looking for right now? Is anything out there that you're trying to hunt or trying to find on Instagram or eBay or something like that? I really want to hear what you guys are looking for. I said I was only looking for one book right now, and it's so scarce that I know like 2 people who have them, and it's kind of tough to acquire. So it's going to take me time, but hopefully, I'm actually thinking about trading one of my Batman 1s for it, but I think long term, even my .5 Batman Green Label, even though it's a married cover, I think that'll appreciate faster, so I'm not sure if I want to give it up. I also love to hear what you guys think about that as well, because I think that, I did a poll. I did that poll with the whole, I showed the 2 books. I showed the Batman .5 and I showed the Tech 31, that was the book, which we'd rather own. And it was, like 65-35 in favor of the Batman 1. But there were a lot of bigwigs, people I really respect in the industry, who came out and said they'd rather have that Tech 31. Because it's rare. I think there's like 97 copies on the census. Could be wrong. It might be 126 off my memory. So compared to Batman 1, that's got about 300 roughly. So that's a big disparity in copies available. 33%, compared to the 100% of Batman 1. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. There you go, Delano. I'm looking for ASM 15. That's a good one, man. Very good. That's Craven, right? First Craven. Just be careful. Hopefully Sony doesn't destroy that movie that they're putting out. But again, I'm a Spidey collector, so I have all those Silver Age Amazing Spider-Mans. I used to have 2, but I actually ended up getting rid of 1, and now I'm down to just the 1 copy. But I don't think you can go wrong with 1 to 50 Amazing Spider-Man. That's really where my bread is buttered. Yeah, it's tough to kind of convince the wives to kind of let us spend what we spend sometimes on some of these books, but that's a nice play. I actually always thought 359 was such an undervalued cover. Something about that purplish brown of that cover and her in the center with Batman and Robin in the background, it's such a great cover. It's really undervalued, as opposed to like a Action 252 for Supergirl. Not my favorite of covers because of it's very monotone, where you have like the gray and like the light brown. They almost make the cover muddled. So I always say to myself, if you're gonna buy a book and it's not a crazy book that you love, maybe you're a huge Batman fan and you want 359, but if it's a key, like a first appearance, and then it has a great cover to boot, like you're really hitting on all cylinders then. I only collect Venom and Miles stuff, fairly new to collecting. They are my favorite characters and the least costly for me. And that's the way to do it, man. Like, at this point in the game, unless you are looking to make money down the road, and it's tougher now than ever because of the market crash, you should be buying what you like. So if you're not buying what you like, I think there's an issue. So I'm glad to see that. Do you have a favorite book between Miles and Venom? Is it Ultimate Fallout 4? Is it ASM 300 or Venom Lethal Protector #1? Coming to the eBay Comics video, guys, if you watch those when I do them on Mondays. Not this week, but the not even the week after that. So I'm actually 2 weeks ahead on that video. There's going to be a Venom Lethal Protector #1 with the black variant. There was a nice sale on that book that occurred that I want to cover, so it's going to come out in a couple weeks. Are you guys going to any cons or shows coming up? Like I said, I was saying before, I got Garden State Comic Fest at the end of this month, the 24th and 25th. I will be there. If you're going to be there, let me know. I got Terrificon, which I think I'm going to go to I think it's July 28th. On the Friday only, I'm going the Friday. So I'm going to make like a night of it and just stay out there. So that Friday will be a Terrificon. And then obviously I just got my New York Comic Con tickets today. They went on sale today for verified fans, so I was able to snag Thursday and Friday. I will be there this year, so 2 days. I know a bunch of people are going to be there that were there last year, so I'm looking forward to seeing everybody again. But hopefully we get some more people before then. he said ASM 300 is a favorite cover, but Venom, Lethal Protector has my heart. Yeah, I think most of the people who collect the modern stuff like that, that's really what got them hooked. If they were like newer to the collecting at that point, I know what you mean. Oh wow, I live in London. That's very cool. 2 cons a year. Do you go to both of them? Yo, so let me tell you something. Dustin at Two Brothers is trying to get me to go to Heroes Con, and I want to go so bad, but it's Father's Day weekend, and I can't get away. My wife has stuff planned here, so I won't be able to attend. But hopefully next year, maybe I can make like a weekend of it and come down, because it's like definitely like a hike for me to drive there, and I'm not sure I want to fly. So maybe I'd come down on like a Thursday and leave like on a Sunday morning, something like that. But unfortunately, not this year. Quasi terrible. I didn't know that. What is the Hofstra Con called? Oh, Eternal Con. Blood, duh. I didn't even see that. Is this a new con, or have they had this before? And if you've gone before, is it is it worth it for me to drive out to Hofstra? I'm a Jets fan, by the way, so Hofstra is near and dear to my heart, being that that's where the Jets used to practice. Bob says, I just picked up an amazing Spider-Man 301 from my local comic book store. Pretty stoked about it. It's one of the best covers ever. Of course, it's the same cover as 300, but that white copy, the cover for that book is so hard to get a 98. If you're able to score a 98 in the book, it's ridiculously expensive. So always worth to buy that book raw, it's super high grade, and possibly submit it, because like the upwards, if you do get it, and yes, it's tough to get, don't get me wrong, it's really hard to get a 98, but the meat on the bone of that book is tremendous. I have no idea what you're talking about. Rabies in the Sapphire Con. I've never heard of that before. What is that? Or are you making fun of me or something? Like 5 years or so it's been going on. It's getting better every year. It's pretty huge for Long Island. So that sounds awesome. Do me a favor. Either message me or put in the... I'll look it up. Hopefully they have a website. Eternal Con, and I'll see if I can get out there. If it's a weekend, I got nothing going on. Absolutely. Just take a ride and film, and of course meet whoever's out there. But that's, it's not too far. It's probably like a good hour and a half from me. Is it multiple days or one day? It's new. I never heard of it. Where is that con? Steampunk. Green Machine, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Like I said, I'm just kind of hanging out on a Sunday. I didn't really feel like doing a live stream, so I figured I've never done like a live, just go live from the phone before, so I figured why not? Let me try it. It's a whole weekend show. All right, that's cool. I would definitely check it out, because maybe I'll shoot down like on a Saturday morning early before the traffic hits. Even though now that it's summer, like getting like the Hamptons and stuff, everybody kind of leaves like early in the morning, so that may be tough. But I will see what I could do. It's definitely it's not too far. Like an hour and a half is not too bad. But so I got CAK's tell me what he's looking for, right? Anybody else looking for anything right now? Bob says, what's your opinion on the reprints that Marvel is putting out? I believe they are releasing a reprint of Amazing Spider-Man 300 in August, a regular version and a foil version. I think if you don't own the real book and want a copy of the book just to read, I think that's great. I'm not paying up for reprints unless there's something spectacular about the cover that's different. Like a foil, like if you get a foil for like 10 bucks at a con or wherever you're going, I'm all for it, man. I wouldn't be paying crazy amounts of money for the reprints. But if you go to a con or you go to a show or your LCS gets a reprint, that's like a special version and they're cheap, buy them, man. Like, I'm totally fine with it. I buy reprints all the time, like to read. If I don't want to read, like if I don't have a rule book, then I don't feel comfortable cracking. Like I recently bought a Amazing Spider-Man Annual #1 in a reprint just to read. I'm fine with them. I'm not paying up for them. I'll pay, what they're going for type of thing, like cover price, but that's it. July 8th and 9th. Is something else July 8th or 9th? All right, I'll definitely check it out, 100%. If everything goes smooth for me, June 24th and 25th, and I can get out there, I'm assuming that's a Saturday and Sunday, maybe the Saturday morning, because I don't think Sunday coming home after the con may be an issue for me, because Long Island to Jersey, when people are heading back from the Hamptons, maybe a disaster getting home. But maybe Saturday morning, that would be cool. But like I said, we have someone looking for a, what did he say? He said he was looking for some books. DC fan before, looking for DC stuff. ASM 300, Venom, Miles. He says hunting a nice 7.0 Silver Surfer #4 and Journey into Mystery 77. It's a great book. That's Silver Surfer 4. It's one of my favorite covers of all time. I have a raw copy, actually, that's for sale, but I don't think it hits a 7.0. I think it's more like a 6. But it's a beautiful copy. Square bound as well, so it's a little tough to get that nice high grade. I used to have a 7.5 in that book, but I sold it a while back. Batman 11 on Heritage. All right, so I'm following this book as well, Malibu. I actually saw that as well, so I'm following it all. It's at 4,100. I know, I'm following that as well. What do you think it's going to go for? And how much time is left? But I'm following that one as well. That's a great cover. A lot of Batman. So let me ask you guys a question. We have 8 people in this chat, okay? As I see right now. So I'm looking for a Detective Comics 31, okay? Which is, you guys know what that is. It's that classic Bob Kane cover, you know, the original throwback to 227. I'm looking for that book. It's a big book, but I put a poll up a while back. Would you guys trade? I have 2 Batman ones. I have a restored 6.0 and I have a 0.5 CGC. It says the cover is married, but I'm not too sure. And there's tape on the cover. It's a heavily taped book, but it's a low-grade Batman 1. Would you guys trade that low-grade Batman 1? It's a green label. I don't think it deserves a green label, but it is. Would you trade that book for a Detective Comics 31 in a restored 5.0? Would you trade it even up, or would you rather hang on to that Batman 1? I put a poll up a while back. Everybody, 60% or so said hang on to the Batman 1. But I really want that 31. But I do think down the line the Batman 1 will be worth more, even though the Detective 31 has like 30% fewer, 60% fewer copies. So that's like 300 to 100. So a 3.5 of that Batman 11 sold for $6,300 plus tax last week. Was that on Heritage as well? That doesn't seem like that's that bad to me for some reason. A 3.5 blue label, I assume. A non-restored. I thought I just covered that book for at a higher grade. It went for like $14,000 or whatever. I feel like that's not that bad. With tax, that's a different story. Like you're pushing $5,000 at this point. I got to look at GPA. I got to look up what those are going for in that grade. But that another book, it's super rare. Batman 1 for Robert Davis. Give me opinions, guys. There's 7 more people in there. They say Batman 1 and a 0.5 green label, or that Tech 31 classic cover. So hard to get in a restored 5.0. Roughly, in my opinion, they're almost at being the same, around the same worth at the grade levels they both are. But my thing was that Batman 1, I think we'll always appreciate more because it's the first appearance of Joker, first appearance of the Catwoman, first Batman in his own title. And then on top of that, because it's a green label CGC book, there was a Batman 0.5 blue label that somebody cracked and submitted to CBCS, and it came back a 1.0 blue label, and the guy doubled his money on it, which is insanity to me. And he's got like stuff along the spine. Great, it's still Batman 1, awesome, but the guy nearly doubled his money on that thing. So I'm not sure if I'm better holding off that book, get it regraded by CBCS, and then I don't even care about the bump. It will look better with a CBCS label. I'm just kind of waiting for them to change their label because I hate their label now. Yeah, I know, man. 31 is like the greatest, if not the greatest cover ever. And the fact that there's like 100 copies of it makes me want to do it. So I got 2 people in here that's saying 31. I got 1 Batman 1. Now we're up to 12 people in here. So I got 3, now back to 11. I got 8 more people in the chat. Comments, which one would you rather have? So Quasi Terrible says, oh no, I still got 2. So I still got 2. So I still got 2 people saying 31 won the Batman 1. It's a tough decision for me. Like, I almost feel like if I can get the Tech 31 plus like 10 grand in cash, I would do it. But outside of that, the fact that somebody just got, grade bumped and doubled his money just from switching from CGC to CBCS to make it a 0.5 to a 1, I feel like I'm losing out on money if I do that. I like the 11 better than the 69. That's just me, but I may be in the minority of that. A lot of people love 69. We're also having a discussion, me, Omega Collection, and Errol Molnar, I'm sure you guys know who he is, about Tech 33. It's the origin of Batman. That there's a book for sale, and I think it's on Elite 11, if my memory serves me correct. Could be wrong, or could be on eBay, but they're asking like 24,000, I think. That's a huge book. I didn't think it was that big. If I'm gonna spend 24 grand, I'd rather own, like, put that towards a bigger book, like a 31 or a Batman one. I think that's the better buy, but I don't know. That's where my head is at today. Seeing what book I want to, what do I want to keep that Batman or trade it for the Tech 31. So, but outside of that, I'm only buying books, guys, if I can get good deals on them. I think that's the right way to go. Unless there's a book you really, really want and then you love the character, I'm only buying books if I can get a deal on them. And I think if a lot of people do that, the prices will come down more and they'll be more affordable, and you see people buy more. And, you know, I think it's starting to pick up again. Like I see when I'm on the claim sales, they weren't as bad as they were about a month ago, where they were like crickets. People weren't bidding on anything. Now they're like, all right, I'm seeing stuff move here and there. People asking about payment plans, stuff like that. And that's a good thing when people are buying books on payment plans, because that means that bigger books are still moving. And that's a good thing for the hobby, in my opinion. But either way, we're just hanging out. Hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday, no matter where you are. Somebody from London. Not sure where everyone else is from today. If you want to drop that in the comments. Brandon Metro, what's up, bud? I was just saying, if you haven't been, if you just hopped in there, that, you know, I'm thinking about trading. I have a Batman 1.5 married cover for a Tech 31 5.0 restored. Would you have a preference over those two? Let me know. I like that one better, Robert. That would be awesome. I'm also working on some, I know we put some new t-shirts out via that little the fourth wall website that I have. Long Island, obviously I figured that. I should have known that, Quasi Terrible, because you're by Hofstra. Should have known that. I actually have cousins that used to live in Roslyn. I don't know how far you are from there. But I got a guy working on a comic design for new shirts, which should be cool. So they're you know, the guy's a great artist, so I figured I'd put some of this money that we're getting towards the monetization of the channel and put it towards, like, cool stuff. Don't forget, oh, I forgot to mention this. Thank you, Brandon. See, so we're 2 for 2, 2 and 2 right now. 2 say Tech 31, 2 say the Batman 1. It's a tough decision, man. It really is. So I figured it'd be about 50-50, but I wanted to say this while I was on here today. We hit 5,000 subs. So we're giving away the Iron Man 1. What I think I'm going to do is do a live stream on a Sunday or a Saturday night and announce it way ahead of time. Hey, we're going to be on a live stream, and we're going to give the book away on the live stream. So if you're there in the live stream, you have a chance to win the book. Okay? So make sure wherever you are, I'll send out notifications. I'll do plenty of promotion ahead of time. So when we do it, all you have to do is be in there at the time, and we'll do it that way. And this way, it's very hard to get, like, 5,000 people, put all their names in, and then pull a hat. I could go to, like, a video and pull a comment out, but it ends up being around the same thing. So Massive Peak was not too far from Ralston. Yeah, I know where that is. Yeah, so I think without traffic it's like 45 minutes for me, but with traffic it'll be an hour and a half. But definitely worth it. So if I end up going, I'll try to see if I can mess you, and I'll let you know, or maybe I'll announce it on the channel. Hey, I'll be there. I know. I saw the Iron Man 9.9. My things about 9.9s and 10s is that, how are you going to distinguish? I mean, who makes the distinguishment between a 9.8 and a 10 or a 9.9? It's got to be so minute that it almost seems like a scam to me. A 9.8 and a 9.9, it's just, I don't know. I never believed in that shit. I would never pay up money for it between a 9.9. Yes, all right, maybe you have the highest graded copy ever, but it's nonsense to me. I'm not spending that extra money for that. Thanks, Brandon. I really appreciate that, man. Look, it's awesome, and I think it's nothing but a money grab, 9.9. So it is what it is, man. People, sometimes there's no shame in this hobby. So sometimes there is, but sometimes there isn't. But that's it, man. I'm just kind of hanging out on a Sunday. It's like 80-something degrees here. I'm sitting on my deck, just kind of hanging out. Nothing going on. Kids are doing homework. Well, you know, here's a question for everybody that's here right now. And I've been on here 25 minutes, which is crazy to me. I didn't think it was going to go this long. I have a question for you guys. Is there anything that you guys want to see more of on the channel? Like right now, I'm doing the eBay sales video. I'm doing the Hot 10. I did a poll. People said they liked the Hot 10 better. Great. I think that's awesome. I'll continue to do it. I actually have something new coming out. We're going to series we're going to try. I'm actually filming it on Thursday of this week with a couple of people. So it won't just be me. And I think every week, I won't say every week because this is like a process to do these videos, is every couple of weeks maybe have somebody on and we're going to get opinions on 2 books. And just for you guys, I'll tell you because you're here now, it's going to be called This or That, where I'm going to give them a choice between 2 books that sold for the same price recently. So we're going to talk about, you know, what book would the person rather have, what book A or book B. And then after they make the decision, after each person says, I'd rather have this, I'd rather have that, then I'm going to give them the data about all the books, about how many are on the census, what they sold for, the GPA over the past 3 years, stuff like that, where they've been, where they're going now. And then we're going to see if we can change their minds, if any of that data kind of changes their minds. And if it does, great. I mean, hopefully it gives you guys some insights into how other collectors think about what they think of a book as opposed to another book. I think it would be really insightful. And every couple of weeks or once a month or so, I'll have different people on. And if I can get them to come on, or else it'll just be me. And I'll give you different insights to what other people think about each book. And every week, or every time we do it, we'll do a different books that sold for the same price, no matter where the price is. Like the first price is going to be $2,000. And then maybe one day we'll do 500, maybe one day we'll do 1,000, and we'll keep changing it up. Robert says, giveaways for people named Robert. And Scott says, I'm from Michigan. What's going on, Scott? How you doing, buddy? Brandon says, maybe some takes on Secret Invasion episodes, maybe good vids to make, throw some spec on it. You know what? I thought about covering some of the movies and shows. Like obviously Guardians just came out, Across the Spider-Verse came out. Would you guys like to see me talk about, you know, movies? And it's not really spec now because the movies have already come out. Or do you want to talk about, like, if they announce a movie now, like Fantastic Four, we know it's coming out in a couple years. You want to talk about books that I think related to Fantastic Four I want to own? Like, I could do that. I think once these movies comes out, you could, like right now, you see all these freaking Miles books come out of the woodwork. Everybody's dumping. So I would not be buying that book. Wait a couple of years. I can't even say a couple of years because the next installment comes out next year. So after that movie comes out, wait a year or two, and that's when I'd be buying the books again. So Robert says more artist or writer spotlight. I did that with the John Romita. I got a lot of good feedback but not a lot of great views. And that video was like a lot of work. I love doing that video. Don't get me wrong. I like learning about the stuff. I had a Todd McFarlane one planned, but I put it to the side right now because it's just a lot of work. But I will do more of that. It just, it takes time. If you guys haven't checked out, like I did like a book spotlight. Like I did an AF-15 spotlight where I go in and I kind of show you pages from the book and go over the book. I did a Hulk one. I did a Tales of Spencer. And I thought those were awesome videos, and nobody watched them. So, but yes, definitely something I have in my bag. So Malibu says, I suggest looking into streaming on YouTube while running a Twitter Spaces. On Spaces, you can take call and very easy to discuss topics. Wow, I didn't know that. I have to look into that. That would be cool. My thing would be, can you filter the call? God forbid you get like a spam person who's cursing on freaking like or does something like hateful on a call, and then I get thrown off of YouTube. That would be my only thing. Other than that, that's a great idea. McFarlane is my favorite. Had to buy the McFarlane Hulk lot from you. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, I agree with you, man. McFarlane's definitely one of my favorites. He's top three or four. You know, Romita, Kirby, I have to put in there. He's fantastic. McFarlane and Ditko. You know, but I grew up McFarlane. I just said on a my recent eBay video, not the one coming out tomorrow, but the one after that, that there's a book on there that McFarlane drew that as a kid, I tried to recreate that cover over and over and over, the Spider-Man one, and I couldn't fucking do it. That's how awesome that cover was. It was spectacular. So, I mean, I think a lot of us probably maybe around close to the same age, so we grew up on him. So, but that's it. Like I said, I'm just hanging out for the next minute, 2 minutes or so, and I'm going to go. I've been on here about a half hour, which is crazy to me. Time flies, man, when you're just talking comics. I will say that. But, so yeah, we have eBay sales video coming tomorrow, Hot 10 Thursday, and then Thursday also I'm filming that This or That series. And hopefully, you know, people like it, and then we'll keep going with it. If not, then maybe we'll put it to the side and do, like, some of the more of this other stuff that you guys are talking about. But, like I said, great talking with you guys again today. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday. And again, thank you to everybody out there who got me to 5,000, man. Look out for that when I post that stuff about the video for 5,000, so you guys are on it, so you have a chance to win that Iron Man 1. And then, you know what? While I got you, one last thing. What are we going to do for 6,000? What should I give away? I was thinking maybe original art. Nothing crazy, but like original art, or we want to do another comic book, or we could do like a mini statue, stuff like that. So I said every 1,000 until we get to 10,000, we'll do a giveaway. And then we'll see, you know, what you guys want. Maybe I'll do a poll at some point when I get on a live stream, and we'll poll statue, art, or comic, and we'll figure it out. When I'm going to these shows over the summer as well, I'll see if I could find any great books to give away as well. I want to do something for channel members. So guys who do pay that $1.99 or $4.99 a month to get my videos early, I'm going to do something for channel members because they deserve it. So they're going to get their own giveaway soon. So if you guys are interested, you know, that's awesome as well. They're going to get their own stuff. So I don't think I could ship that any of these arcade machines, man. I wish I could. They take up a lot of room. I love them, but they take up a lot of freaking room. So. All right, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me for about a half hour. You know, it's always like talking comics with you guys. So again, I appreciate all of you guys, and like always, I will talk to you guys soon.